I'm standing in our bathroom, my heart racing, as my boyfriend's eyes lock onto mine, and for a moment, I think I see a glimmer of guilt. But then, his expression changes, and he's denying everything, again. We've been together for over a year now, and from the outside, it seems like we have the perfect relationship. We've known each other since high school, and when we finally started dating, it was like the whole world had come together. He was charming, funny, and seemed to tick all the right boxes. We'd spend hours laughing, trying new restaurants, and just enjoying each other's company. But, as time went on, I started to notice little things that didn't quite add up. He'd leave his dirty socks on the floor, and I'd end up doing all the household chores. We'd have conversations about it, and he'd promise to do better, but nothing ever changed. As our relationship progressed, he moved in with me, and my flatmates started to notice the same patterns. They'd comment on how he'd sit on the couch, watching TV, while I was stressed out, trying to finish work, go to the gym, and cook dinner. I brushed it off, thinking that maybe I was just being too sensitive. But, looking back, I realized that I was ignoring the warning signs. You see, I'd been in a 10-year abusive relationship before, and it had taken a toll on my self-worth. I struggled to speak up, to assert my needs, and I often found myself overwhelmed and upset. Then, something unexpected happened. My boyfriend won $40,000 gambling online, and we decided to put it away, to use it as a nest egg for our future. We spent about $5,000 on a birthday weekend, and then he told me he'd put the rest in a special account that would accumulate interest. I trusted him, and we both looked forward to using that money to buy an apartment in a year's time. But, as the months went by, I started to feel a nagging sense of unease. We were living in our own rented apartment, and I was working 2 jobs, trying to keep up with the household chores, and taking care of my health. My boyfriend's lack of help was becoming more and more frustrating, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. So, one morning, as we were getting ready together, I brought it up. I mentioned that we'd be turning 30 soon, and that we could use the interest from the account to do something special for our birthdays. He agreed, but when I asked him how much interest it had grown, he seemed hesitant. He told me it had grown to $4,000, but something about his answer didn't feel right. I pressed him, asking him again and again, until finally, he caved. He admitted that he had spent the money, but not on the apartment, not on our future. He'd used it to pay off his debts from before we met. I was upset, but I tried to understand. I knew he had a lot of debt, and I wanted to support him. So, we decided to talk about it later, and we both went to work. But, as the day went on, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was still wrong. I asked him to come home, so I could ask him 2 questions. The first one was, had there ever been an account, a nest egg, to begin with, or had he paid off his debt straight away? He told me that he'd paid it straight away. The second question was, could he show me proof of payment to his debts? He couldn't. And that's when it hit me, he'd lied to me again. He'd spent the money on gambling, within the first week, and he'd been lying to me for almost a year. I've tried to forgive him, I really have. But, every time we go out, he gets loud, and then he runs away from me. He leaves me standing there, feeling embarrassed and alone. I've tried to show him kindness, to be understanding, but it's getting harder and harder. I feel like I'm just going through the motions, like our relationship is a facade. I don't feel attracted to him anymore, and I'm tired of the stress, the anxiety, the feeling of being overwhelmed. I love him, I do, but I don't know if I can do this anymore. I'm at my wit's end, and I don't know what to do. I feel like I've given him so many chances, and he's blown them all. I'm tired of being the one who always has to compromise, who always has to forgive. I'm tired of feeling like I'm not enough, like I'm not worthy of love, of respect. I thought I'd found my person, my partner, my best friend. But now, I'm not so sure. As I stand here, looking at him, I wonder, can our relationship ever be the same? Was I right to feel this way, or am I just being too sensitive? Should I try to work through this, or is it time to walk away? I'm not sure, but what I do know is that I deserve better. I deserve to be loved, to be respected, to be treated like I'm worthy. And if that's not going to happen with him, then maybe it's time to move on. What do you think? Was I right to feel this way, or should I have been more understanding?
If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Drop your verdict in the comments below, subscribe for new stories every single day, and hit the notification bell so you never miss one.